Let's
What's
talk
up?
about
We're
it.
Monster Kid Media, and today we are going to do our real quick review of the new Nosferatu. About 3 weeks ago, Mike was in town. We went to the theater. Um, what we're going to make this quick
Yeah.
because the movie
So we
was.
went to the theater that we grew up with.
Mhm.
Um, it was really cool to go back there. Because I had been there a lot, and it was cool to see all the renovations they did. Um, but yeah, so we went to go see Nosferatu. Um, yeah, I mean, so spoilers are going to be abundant because Nosferatu, right?
You
I
guys know the
mean,
story. It's the same story as Dracula.
right?
Long movie,
Yep,
and I
very long.
fell asleep in the movie theater twice.
Why'd you fall asleep?
It,
I had to wake you up twice.
Mike says I have I snored a little. I might have little baby snores, I've been told. I don't really know if that's true. I don't think it is. But it's the British accent. Like I can't watch movies with British accents. They put me right to sleep. Harry Potter, never seen it. The Hobbit, never seen it. Lord of the Rings, I can't do it. Within 10 to 15 minutes, usually I'm out. I made it through this one probably 45 minutes until I zonked out.
Yeah.
The British accent was weird because I thought this was supposed to be like German accent, but whatever. It's not
Yeah.
big deal.
I thought nobody was going to talk, but it's supposed to be silent.
Yeah. So when we watched the movie, I'm like, meh, I don't know. I wish they put more of the old film into it. But then we watched the old film again. I hadn't seen it in a while, and they
Yeah.
actually did put a good amount.
So they actually did. I mean, so starting out the movie, it's really tough because bringing Nosferatu from a movie that's made in the 20s, right? It was made in the 20s
Yeah, 1922, I think.
to present day. That's a big undertaking, right? Because Nosferatu is one of those movies that people are very passionate about. And
Mhm.
we've talked about people being passionate about movies. So you're nobody's going to be 100% satisfied, especially your staunch like fans. They're always going to find something. However, I feel like with this movie they kind of went out of their way to do a big fu to to fans. I'll get into that in a second. um
I don't know
so
if I would
so
call
so
it
the
an FU.
huh
I don't know if I would call it an FU, and I'll explain it.
okay, it's a definite choice, but um so the girl in the movie is Johnny Depp's daughter,
I
right?
think so. I think her last name's Johnny Depp. She looks like a female Johnny Depp.
She does. um
Did I say her last
so
name was Johnny Depp? Her last name is Depp.
her
Her last,
last name is John.
what is it? Marissa
So
Johnny Depp or something. I don't remember what her name is.
so my thing with this movie, and it's funny because I found out after this movie, I compared it to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is a fair comparison.
I
I
think a
said
lot of
this is basically Bram Stoker's Dracula into the new the new genre, the like new cinema. And you said I've never seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, which
no,
kind of
that's
blew my mind.
yeah. I've seen the original Dracula. I never saw the one with
Keanu and Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder. First of all, you need to see that movie. It's a great movie. Anthony Hopkins. I mean, are you kidding? Whatever. It's a
I,
fantastic movie.
Bela Lugosi's Dracula for me.
I I'll just get right into it. I felt this movie was mediocre.
Okay.
I It was okay. It's not something I'm going to see again. Um, so things I loved how they did the shadows.
Yep.
You and I talked about the one thing they did right were Nosferatu and the shadows.
Yes.
That that brought back all the feelings of Nosferatu for me. Um, I think it was Skarsgård who did Nosferatu, correct?
Yeah.
I think that his voice, I think his voice was good. Um, I think that the interactions between him and I wish I would have wrote this down, but the main male character,
Hmm.
I think their interactions were pretty good. But that's what really reminded me of Bram Stoker's Dracula when Keanu Reeves went and talked to him. It was very much the same. Um,
I really like the way the darkness of the film. It had like a
yeah.
dread or doom throughout the whole film, which I
Mhm.
really liked and appreciated. And it almost felt like a black and white film, but it wasn't because of the
Yeah.
cinematography they used.
Hmm.
Um, let's just real quick. I mean, you know what we're gonna get into. It
Yep.
at first it set me back. The mustache.
Nosferatu with a mustache.
The overall design of Nosferatu I thought was great, and Skarsgård I thought did a really good job playing him.
Yeah.
And they show him really only in the shadows, kind of at first, and then the mustache comes out, and
It's jarring, I think. It's it's just a weird.
it is. And the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, this dude looks familiar. Why does this guy look so familiar? Yesterday, it hit me out of nowhere. He looks like Gigi Allen, and I'm gonna put a picture up here of Gigi Allen for anybody watching who doesn't know. And I'll see if I can find a new picture of the new Nosferatu and I'll do side by side. But he's just got this unkempt, crazy mustache.
How about another picture?
What?
Soda Popinski.
Soda Popinski. Yeah.
So,
So
that's what I kept thinking.
it'd be Soda Pop. So the
Soda.
thing that I thought was really gross and they did well was like you could see like blood and stuff dripping off the mustache. I thought that was kind of unsettling. But
Mhm.
but what was really unsettling to me, and I thought it was beautifully done, was the last scene. Spoiler alert, so everybody, you know, when uh when he's on top of her,
Yep.
and you have like this young uh woman, you
Hmm.
know, and
Yeah.
then this crippled old like
Decrepit.
decrepit filthy dude on top, and it's just like like this.
Yeah. You see every bone in his spine.
Yeah,
Gray. It's yeah.
it was beautifully shot and it was disgusting at the same time.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
because the sounds were, and we'll get into that because that's another thing I liked. But um, that end scene when the sun came in
mhm.
was a beautiful scene. Was a beautiful shot.
Yeah,
Um, it was weird how big they made him. I
yeah.
had an issue with that. They made him like a wrestler, like they.
Oh, like
So
bulky.
that's yeah, really bulky.
Mhm.
So that was a choice. Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that either. But then at the end, y- he and I don't know if it was because of the sunlight, but he like turned to skin and bones.
Yeah, and his legs got really small. And again, like you said, like you made a comment, like, well, maybe that was because he's dying, so everything's shriveled up.
Mhm.
Which maybe, I don't know. That would make sense, I guess. Um, but the sound in the movie was really great. There was a point in the movie that I looked over to you and I said,
Realized
"Hey,
that Nosferatu's right there.
here he is."
I should have brought
Yeah,
him up.
see, that's the Nosferatu I know.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
not the
sorry.
Nosferatu in the movie.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Where are we going?
So the sound, right? So there was a point in the movie I turned to you. I go, hey, I go, do you hear or like that heartbeat?
Mhm.
And you're like, yeah. Because I'm thinking it's me. I'm thinking I'm at the palpitations. But no, there's a part in the middle of the movie, and it's for a good amount of time where there's a distinct heartbeat that's that kind of gets you anxious.
Mhm.
And then it kind of stops and it doesn't come back for the rest of the movie. So I thought that maybe that would be a reoccurring thing, but it never comes back.
Yeah, and I thought like maybe it would build up,
Yeah.
like to build that anticipation, but it never did.
Mhm.
But
Um, I don't know, man. It's like you said, it's gonna be pretty quick. It wasn't a bad movie. It's not really something I feel like I have to see again. Um, I feel like you need to see Bram Stoker's Dracula
yeah, I'll watch it.
because there's so many parallels to it. And again, maybe it's because maybe I never really paid it enough attention to the original Nosferatu. Like I'm realizing that now. Like I feel like I've seen it, but I guess I never really paid attention to. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
It's hard for people like us to pay attention to silent films because
Hmm.
we're used to uh movies with audio.
Yeah, like I find myself when I watch that movie, I kind of fast forward to the parts that have Nosferatu, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of like filler to me.
There is a retro wave version of it on Tubi that is
Right.
actually easier to watch. It's got like retro wave music, and there's like different pinks and blue color hues, and it makes it more, well, it makes it easier to watch.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah,
you you told me about that and I watched it, and that was really cool.
yeah, and they did that with a couple other movies. But
Mhm.
you're right. Like usually you want to fast forward to those iconic parts. But I promise you that the filmmaker dissected that film much more than I ever have because there
Oh,
were
for sure.
the cut scenes with the dialogue in the original film, like he would place those in the movie, which I really
Yeah.
appreciate. Like, why did you
Yeah.
pick these flowers? These flowers, you killed them. Like in the
Yeah.
beginning. Like, oh, that's from the original. So
Hmm.
overall, out of 10, what would you give this movie?
I don't know. I don't want to put it down too much because it's not a bad movie. It's just a it's okay.
I'd give it a
Um,
7.
I was thinking 6.5 or 7. I think 7. I think 7 is fair.
Seven's a
I
good.
think it's. I think if you like. I think if you like vampire movies and Nosferatu, like it's worth watching. Uh, the reason I think I'm giving it a 7 is because when we went back and we watched the original one, and then we realized like, oh, this is actually tied in a lot more. I think though they definitely probably made the movie a little bit longer than it really needed to be.
Yeah. Don't be
Yeah.
offset by the mustache. It was also, someone made a good point. I was talking to those that is based off Vlad the Impaler, who had a mustache. I mean, someone
Yeah.
back then would have had a mustache.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look again. I hate to keep saying it, but in Bram Stoker's Dracula, dude had a mustache because it was Vlad the Impaler. So again, that's why I'm like, it's hard not to think that maybe so maybe that's what they did, right? They took Nosferatu and Bram Stoker and kind of melded
Mhm.
the two, which would make sense, I guess.
Yeah. So, I would go see it. I'm not like highly recommending it, but you should definitely go see it. And if
Yeah,
you've already seen it, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about our interpretations and the little things that we picked out.
yeah.
7 out of 10 for
I'm
me.
sh- I'm sure somebody's gonna be like a Nosferatu expert and be like, "Oh, you guys missed the mark on this," which is fine.
Actually, he should have had a mustache because based off of this, the mustache at first it set me back. I don't. It doesn't bother me now. Uh,
It's still a little weird. I think it's only weird because of the things that you said. Like you keep saying that it reminds you of Gigi Allen, which is funny.
yeah,
But I kept thinking Soda Popinski
yeah,
because of how big he was.
yeah.
So like the proportions of Soda Popinski,
Totally. He was tall and buff. Yeah. So I'll put
but
pictures.
like he had small legs like Soda.
Needed a dance
Yeah,
and then drink the bottle.
yeah. You have to put Soda Popinski in there with
I will.
Gigi Allen.
I will. All right. Thank you guys for watching.
Yep,
We'll do another review some other time. This was a quick one, so
for sure.
let us know what you think. Take care, guys.
Bye.